Michelle Abraham has everything you need to know, from local eats and celebrity interviews to trending topics and more. Right now on Good Day Stateline.
Hi, and welcome to Good Day Stateline. It's Tuesday, August 11th. I'm Michelle. Thanks so much for being here tonight as we continue to prep for 815 Day this weekend. Tim Mahoney has given us an 815 history lesson in Freeport tonight. We have a new What's Buzzing too. But before we get to all of that, it's time for Insta Chat, brought to you by Beloit Health System, the only hospital in the area to be awarded an A quality and safety rating by Leapfrog. Every night we're breaking down the latest trending Hollywood stories here and inside our Instagram story. Kicking things off tonight with some baby news. First, congratulations to Aubrey Plaza and her boyfriend Chris Abbott, who just welcomed their first baby. Aubrey and the newborn were spotted over the weekend, according to People magazine, and another star is almost ready to welcome his first baby too, John Hamm and his wife Anna Osceola. The couple has been hanging in the Hamptons this summer, with Anna showing off her baby bump. Anna's 38, John is 55, if you're wondering. And finally tonight, a movie sequel is kind of like a baby, right? Deadline diving into the mystery of the sequel to Michael, one of the year's biggest movies. Lionsgate Motion Picture Group chairman Adam Fogelson announced a target production date for Michael 2 toward the end of 2027. Everything we know so far about the movie is inside the GDS Instagram story. We've always got more Insta Chat for you there, including Kylie Jenner's 29th birthday party pictures. We wish we were invited to this one. Follow us on Instagram at Good Day Stateline for all of that. Your mug could be here on the GDS desk. You can be part of the GDS Mug Society. Just bring us your mug. We'll swap you for some GDS swag. Make sure you're getting our newsletter too. Scan the flow code on the right side of your screen or head to gooddaystateline.com to sign up. We'll be right back to tackle school lunches for a new school year after your Good Day Moments, brought to you by Fresh Prince of Loves Park, the print shop with a heart. Back to school season is here, which means it's time to start thinking about healthy choices you can pack in your kids' lunch boxes. Bruce Hinson, head of U.S. retail sales of Mezete Authentic Middle Eastern Foods, is here tonight to tell us what easy, healthy back-to-school items we should try. Bruce, thanks so much for being here.
Glad to be here.
Grab and go is the best phrase for parents or adults helping with lunches to hear when it comes to back to school. What options do you guys have?
We have an incredible line of items called Mezete to go. It's a item with a hummus puck in it and breadsticks, and all you do is open it up, and it's really super convenient, especially for those people that are looking for a healthier option versus, I mean, right now when people are putting things in backpacks for their kids, they're trying to find, whether it's trail mixes or other things that they're trying to put in there that are a little healthier than just a candy bar or just something that isn't going to give them the nutrients they need. They get a little puck of hummus as well as some breadsticks that they can eat. They are shelf stable, so they can be put in their backpack or lunchbox or anything else that really doesn't need to be refrigerated.
Awesome. What makes your hummus different from other brands we've seen?
There's several things. So first of all, it's part of a 100-year-old company that's based in Jordan. Everything comes from Amman, Jordan. It's imported from Jordan. It's truly authentic. It is with tahini, with hummus. This item in particular, what's really different about it is the amount of tahini. The tahini is what makes it really creamy. So hummus is basically chickpea and tahini and maybe some lemon or some herbs. Ours has really what you would find if you made it at home or in an authentic Mediterranean or Middle Eastern restaurant. Has nearly 30%. All U.S. hummus out there basically is made with less than 10%.
Okay.
The reason that is because of a couple things. Tahini is expensive, and also if you're not careful, when you make it fresh, there can be some issues with it having some bad stuff grow in there. And so the way we make our product, that doesn't happen. Ours is very, very safe to eat. It is made with, there's a little foil on the hummus where basically it can go from hot to cold, doesn't really matter. And then once you peel back the foil, that's when day one starts, and it's like any other dip that you might eat.
Awesome. What kind of flavors do you have?
We have classic, zesty za'atar, and we have red roasted pepper.
And the grab and goes, of course, are awesome for back to school, but it's not the only products that you have. You have tahini, you have bigger hummus containers, and also like this little box of stew. Is it that? Am I right? Is that what that is?
Yes. So the Mezete is part of this 100-year-old company in Jordan called Cassia Foods. Howlett is our current CEO. He's third generation. He's really trying to fulfill his family's legacy of taking Middle Eastern food all around the world. And so he came to the States about 30 years ago, studied in the Midwest, and went back and built a state-of-the-art facility in Jordan. And he was able to come up with the technology to really develop products that can be shipped all around the world. So we're in 50 plus countries. We're relatively new to the US. We've been here about a year and a half. I'm super excited because I'm leading the US retail efforts. And with that, it's not just hummus, but we also have dips with the baba ganoush and a mahamra, which is a sweet savory dip. Those are like the number 2, number 3 dips in the Middle East. You're right. We also have a line of sauces, which are tahini, toom, which is our garlic aioli. We also have a shada sauce, which has a little bit of heat. And also we have soups. We have an ada soup, which is a lentil soup, which is amazing. We've received incredible feedback on that, as well as a frika, which is really a barley soup, as well as a shashuka and mulhia, which is more of a green. Those two are more bases. So these are all very popular dishes in the Middle East and the Mediterranean area. Some Americans are familiar with some of the items, but not the other items. So we really are excited about being able to share Middle Eastern food with U.S. consumer in a convenient way.
Sure. Where can we go to get some more info on all of these and maybe get our hands on them too?
Sure. Well, Mezete.com is our website. We have all the different handles. We're on Instagram. We are in a variety of different places across the country. We just got our 3 sauces in all Whole Food stores. We also have our dips and hummus in the Midwest and chains like Pete's. So we also have some that are in Giant Eagle and their market district stores. So right now, every day it's changing. We have more and more retailers bringing more of those more Mezete products in every month.
Cool. Well, Bruce, thank you so much for this. We appreciate your time.
You bet. Take care.
Speaking of back to school, we're getting an 815 week history lesson from Tim Mahoney next. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Good Day Stateline. We are celebrating 815 Day with Tim Mahoney in the 815, a little farther than where we're usually celebrating.
Yeah, closer for me,
Yeah.
further for you.
Yeah.
My new office is a couple of blocks over that way, so
Yeah.
it's great to have you in Freeport.
Yeah, we're excited to be in Freeport. There's a lot of history here.
There's a ton, and we're standing in front of the dedication done by Teddy Roosevelt to the Lincoln-Douglas debates that occurred here and the Freeport Doctrine that was part of those debates. And this was dedicated in 1903, and Teddy Roosevelt actually came as a sitting president and did the dedication. And there's a great photo over there of him where he rode the train from DC and got off on his horse, because you know Teddy always showed up on a horse, and came up here and gave a great speech and did the dedication. And you know, the Freeport Doctrine, most people have heard about the Lincoln-Douglas debates that happened in Freeport, but most people don't know about the Freeport Doctrine and how significant that was to a later election and ultimately to our country's entire history. So the debates occurred in 1858. The two men were running for Senate, for Illinois senator. Douglas was a sitting senator, and Lincoln was running against him. And a whole series of events had happened up into that debate. So number one, there had been the Dred Scott decision. And the Dred Scott decision had said that African Americans, not the term that they used, were not United States citizens. They could be citizens of an individual state, but they were not United States citizens. Dred Scott decision also said that the national government could not regulate slavery. At the same time, the land that was part of the Missouri Compromise, that compromise banned slavery in that particular area of land. Dred Scott overturned that. And Douglas had been the head of a lot of different laws passed by the Senate to allow slavery in a portion of that land, the Kansas-Nebraska Act being the main one. So Dred Scott had just happened, so now these debates were culminating because Lincoln knew that he was going to run for president in 2 years. Everybody knew that Douglas was going to run for president in 2 years, and the South was watching. The other big factor that happened, this was the second debate. This was the first one that was really kind of nationally televised. Obviously, you didn't have television, but you had the telegraph back then. So everybody was paying attention to this particular debate. And Douglas had been asked this question before, so Lincoln knew what type of answer he had given, but now with the Dred Scott decision, he was painting him into a corner. So what Lincoln did is he asked Douglas, okay, in light of the Dred Scott decision, in light of what you've done down in Missouri, can individual territories regulate slavery? And Illinois was pretty much a state that stood for the proposition that, yes, we want to be able to regulate slavery, we want to be able to have our own laws in that arena. The South didn't want any other state to be able to regulate slavery. They wanted, so like if their property, their slave came to another state, they wanted to be able to go grab their property and take it back. Whereas Illinois believed, no, once somebody gets here, we have the ability to regulate that. So that was really the debate. So when Lincoln said to Douglas, what do you think? Now Douglas was in a tough spot, because if he said, yes, I think territories can regulate slavery, that would help him for his senatorial race, which he wanted to get back to the Senate and run for president as a senator. But if he said that, it also put him in difficulty with the South, because the South wanted no regulation whatsoever. Douglas gave a complicated answer that essentially said, yes, I do believe that territories can individually regulate. Well, that won him this race of 1858, the senatorial race. Lincoln lost again, if you know his history. He lost and lost and lost and lost and lost. Yeah. However, when 1860 came around, the Democrats wanted Douglas to be their nominee, and when they got to the Democratic National Convention in Raleigh, North Carolina, the Democratic Party split. The Southern Democratic Party wanted there to be a national code, a regulation regarding slavery, and the Northern Democratic Party said no, so they actually ended up running two candidates, one from the South and Douglas from the North. And what did that allow? That allowed Lincoln
to win.
Correct. That split the vote, and that allowed Lincoln, who was running as a Republican, the radical Republicans that were started in Ripon, Wisconsin, allowed Lincoln to run as a Republican and allowed him to be elected and became our 16th president. And we plummeted into a civil war, and the rest is history.
Literally history.
Yes.
You know, if you ever want to stop being a lawyer, you could probably be a teacher.
That would be, being a teacher is great.
Yeah.
And so that's why Teddy Roosevelt actually came here as a sitting president, because the Freeport Doctrine is such a huge deal. That was the turning point in those debates, and that was the turning point in the election that happened 2 years later, and the turning point in our country because Lincoln was the one when he was, remember, everybody tried to get Lincoln to not make it be an amendment to the Constitution, and instead just pass a law, and he said, no, we have to decide this once and for all. It has to be an amendment to the Constitution, and we're going to get it passed, and they did, and that reunited the country and changed our history forever. So right over there was the debate, and right here is where Teddy came and said it was such a big deal.
GDS Summer School is next with Lis Dunn Designs. Don't go anywhere. It's time for GDS Summer School, brought to you by Elite Sports Center, building the next generation of athletes and community leaders. Lis is here tonight from Lis Dunn Designs. We are learning how to transition our home decor as we get ready to shift seasons. Thanks so much for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so before we get to the decor, tell us a little bit about how you fell into this as your business, as your lifestyle.
Well, I started in jewelry design many years ago, like 3 decades ago.
Yeah.
And then just kind of evolved. I just realized I loved styling. I loved like staging things. I opened a shop for 4 years out in Poplar Grove. And I realized that I loved like the marketing, or not marketing, but the merchandising more than I did like actually creating stuff.
Sure.
So I love just to create like a feeling and just like a mood, and just to make people feel like welcome, and just, you know, like that they're welcome into your home. And
sure.
So
you know, everywhere you go, it's like the decor really does say a lot about whether we're talking about a business that maybe has you plan what it looks like when you walk in the door, or a home, or is this a picnic are we looking at?
Yeah, this is a fun little outdoor like styling thing that I did.
Okay, so summer has been fun, and I still stand behind the fact that summer's not over yet.
Yes.
But it could be time to start buying stuff to transition into fall.
Yes.
What do you love about the fall season?
So here, yes, that's a good point, because I also love fall, and I'm very like, I'm ready to decorate. I want to like go full in, like just with all the fall decorations, but I want to honor that summer's still here,
Yeah.
and I know some people are just not ready for summer to end. So this is kind of what we're calling like late summer orchard.
Oh, I love it.
So you're kind of transitioning into the fall, but you've still got some sort of like yellows and like the hydrangeas and some things that are still a little bit brighter and like reminiscent of summer, but leading into the fall. So yeah, one thing I like to tell people for anything like styling, like home decor, use what you have first.
Okay.
Think of like height, texture, natural elements. Like everyone has baskets, everyone has candles. Maybe you have like, one of the things I like to do is like incorporate things that maybe you wouldn't think, like think outside the box. So like this table, the tablecloth is a tarp for painting.
Okay.
The napkins are just torn fabric. Just like over here, like there's like a blanket scarf that we've used as like a table runner.
That.
Yeah, just like using fruit as decorations. Just little things, books. Also like the trays, like anytime I can, like I add like little hardware, like cabinet hardware to my trays just to make it a little more elevated and elegant. So yeah, think outside the box, think natural, think like height and texture. So that's kind of like my thought, like moving into like this next season and styling. But also I think the thing that I hope people know about like me and my business is I like things to be personal. Doing personalized jewelry for so many years, I've just kind of incorporated that into everything. The wine glasses have our names on them. They're personalized with our names, and we've got like little tags with our names and 815 sign, just things that like aren't just pretty, but they mean something to you and to the people that are coming into your home.
I love that. I also was just thinking, you know how people have like clothing swaps?
Yes.
You can have like decor swaps too with your friends or family members, because sometimes it's just you're tired of looking at the same thing every time you put like your fall decor out.
Yeah.
But maybe you could just swap things and then you still can save money.
Yeah, I think that's like, and I think there's a resurgence of that, like just like people like knowing like, hey, let's barter like what we have and like trade it. But the clothing swap is amazing because I have a ton of clothes. I don't know about you,
Same.
but yeah, just being able to trade what you have. And
I love it.
Yeah.
This like burnt orangey yellow color, is that
Yes.
something that we can take with us when we fully transition to fall?
Absolutely. Yeah. So what I would do like with this kind of thing is like the olive branches are kind of like, you've still got the green in there, but obviously when it turns to fall, it's a little more oranges and reds and yellows. So just transition with like, a garland that's more like leaves, like the oranges and browns and stuff. But you can still like definitely, I love the amber glass like all year.
Where can we find you online?
So I usually point people to my Facebook page, at Lis Dunn Designs. My Etsy shop is usually where people can shop with me.
Okay.
I do a lot of fun things on my Facebook page. We do like little vignette sales. We do little style challenges where I present like a color palette that I was inspired by something, and then challenge everyone to like find an outfit like using that color palette, or do like some sort of a styled shoot with that color palette. So yeah, Facebook is the first place I would point people to. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead and follow her and have some fun online with Lis. Thanks so much for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
What's Buzzing is next. We'll be right back. Thanks so much for hanging out with us tonight. Coming up tomorrow, we're getting ready for this weekend's Rockford City Market. We have an 815-day trivia battle for you, too. One more thing before we go. Tyler's back with the latest topic taking over the internet this week. What's buzzing, Tyler?
All right. I know your answer on this because you just said August is still summer.
Yes.
But when can you start celebrating Halloween?
In October.
Spirit Halloween opens August 1st.
You can start planning your Halloween
That's kind of
costume.
like, well, you can do that year round. Like, when can you start getting in Can you go to Spirit Halloween would you go?
Would I go? No.
You're scared to go in general.
No,
You're not going in
scared
October.
of Spirit Halloween, you goon.
A bunch of retailers already have Halloween merch out.
Yeah, I know.
I think it's crazy to start in August. August is
scary.
summer still.
Absolutely, but it's kind of just they want people to buy things.
Well, yes.
and
A lot
start-
of people said September is the kickoff.
Of Halloween?
Yes, and I think September is the only like true fall month because November is a Thanksgiving month / Christmas.
I kind of
October's Halloween.
Like if I was decorating my home,
Yeah.
I would be like the beginning of September, start putting some leaves,
Yes.
get leaves ready.
And my birthday
pumpkins.
stuff.
And Tyler's
Hats
birthday
for my
decorations.
birthday.
But like leaves
Pumpkins
and pumpkins
can go out.
Not jack-o'-lanterns and pumpkins. And then October 1st rings a bell.
I
and
agree,
then
it's
I go
October.
Halloween. And then November
Christmas.
1st? No, I go back to the pumpkin leaf fall
All right.
in November until Thanksgiving.
Hardcore fans, when do you think they celebrate?
I just saw your card.
July 5th.
That's insane.
ridiculous. But that's you. Christmas is also not November 1st.
But Christmas is different than, I don't know.
Yeah.
July is crazy to start celebrating Halloween.
July. What's next? August,
Yes.
September, October. So December, November.
July's still very much summer.
Oh, I completely agree. Like,
It's-
come on.
if
it's
you have a
still
pumpkin out,
like
it's
hot pink
wild to me,
colors in
yes.
October. I do know like the pumpkin patch is
Sunscreen-
open
yes.
soon, but
Well, yes.
people want their donuts.
Yes.
What are you gonna do?
That's
Let us
not
know
how-
what you think on Instagram, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.